The fastest way to get out of debt is not math. It is momentum and confidence, okay? What I mean by that is, yes, math is incorporated into this because you are going to have to put extra on your minimum payments and stuff. But when you start feeling like you are paying bills off and you're doing it quickly and you're doing it consistently, you're going to build confidence and you're going to build momentum and you are going to be on fire. And so I want you to be on fire because when you're on fire, you're going to make progress and you are quickly getting yourself in position to building up your credit score, saving money, purchasing the home that you've always wanted, and building a life worth living. Key components there. All right. So here's what I need you to do. So to build momentum, the best way to do this that I have found is to do, so a lot of people want to pay on their credit cards the one that has like the least interest. That's not what we're doing here because that has the least interest in the highest total amount. I don't want you to do that. From my experience, me personally getting on my getting out of debt journey, that's not how I did it. I did it the way I'm about to tell you, which is labeling your debts from smallest to largest. And what we're going to do is we're going to pay the smallest one off first and make our way down. Because again, momentum, you need to be able to see momentum. If you start here at the top, it's going to feel overwhelming to even pay that off. And so you're going to go astray. You're going to think you're not making any progress. And next thing you know, you kind of get the screw it's, the F it's, and we're done. We're back doing what we used to be doing. So I don't want you to do that. I want you to develop a habit. I want you to develop a plan, and I want you to develop something that's going to give you confidence and esteem moving forward. So I'm going to give you an example and show you kind of how this works. So the big thing here is you're going to list them from least to greatest. We're going to attack the least one first. And what we're going to do, we're going to attack the least one by paying extra on the monthly payment, okay? So what you're going to do is you're going to put all the other credits, all the other debts that you have, and you're going to put those on minimum payments on that. So you're going to pay on those so that you can do what we call snowballing the one debt so that we can then take the money that we have extra from that and make that additional payment on the next debt. So I'm going to give you a little example here to help you out here. And I'm going to kind of show you what this looks like. Now, this is going to look kind of long, but I assure you, if you were I'm giving you the worst case scenario, to be quite honest with you. So, but I imagine once you start building your confidence and start rolling this forward, you are going to see some significant progress here. So here we go. So I gave you a little example here. Let's see, maybe you can see that. All right. So let's say your first credit card let's just say your first debt is you have $500 on that one. The second one's $2,000 and the second one's $5,000. Now I'm making these numbers up here, but let's say your minimum payment on the first one is $50. Your second one is $100 monthly payment, and your third one is $200. Okay. So what we want to do is we want to pay an additional amount of money on this minimum payment, right? So I kind of just broke it down to something simple like an extra $100. Now you may be able to do more than that, which is going to drastically change what my time frame is over here. Okay. So let's say, for example, that you pay $100 extra on the minimum payment, the one that's $50, you have $500 on. That's going to take you about 4.5 months, which I just wrote out 5, but that's going to take you roughly 4 to 5 months to pay that off. Now, once you do that, you're basically freeing up an extra $150 that you can now pay on the next debt, right? And so when you do that, you're going to start making that extra payment. And for the $2,000, that's for the $2,000 one. If we're putting extra $150 on that every single month, then that's going to take about 8 months, 7 to 8 months. Now, if you put even more on that, let's say you put $250 extra on that payment, well, then you just cut that down to about 4 months. So you see what I'm saying? Like, just depending on how much you're putting forward, it's going to help you get there faster. So again, that's why I mentioned a mindset shift. You may have to get a second job for a very temporary time or work some extra overtime for a temporary amount of time in order to make this happen. And so again, if we look at this, 7 to 8 months here for this $2,000 one, and then it's going to be a total of 11 months for the $5,000 one. And that's if you're doing the bare minimum, folks, the bare minimum. But I can guarantee you, when you start getting that confidence up and that momentum starts going, man, you're going to want to crush this thing. You're going to want to knock it out. Now, and then so once we get to that point, now this comes out to about 24 months. So that's a little bit of discipline. But think about this: even if it did take 24 months, wouldn't it be worth it to have some of that weight off your shoulder? Wouldn't it be worth seeing your credit score skyrocket? Wouldn't it be worth starting to have, now you would have a total now of about about $400 to $500 extra in your pocket every month, which we're going to use in another step, by the way. So that's the power of building momentum. That's the power of confidence. That's the power of getting discipline for a short amount of time. Okay. And if you do this, I can guarantee you're going to be getting to home ownership pretty quickly, because when you start looking at this, what's going to happen is, and so here's one thing I want to say is, I don't want you, if you have 2 credit cards, for example, or you have 3, now you don't need 3, but definitely cut one of them out, stop one of them. That is going to hurt your credit a little bit. I am going to go ahead and forewarn you on that, because whenever you close an account, it makes it difficult. But here's the thing: it'll bounce right back within 2 to 3 months. And this is already going to take you a couple months to do. It's going to take you several months to do anyways, right? So cut one of them out. If you want to keep 1 or 2 credit cards, it's kind of recommended that you have that, just to keep your credit score up. And again, this is where the Dave Ramsey plan doesn't really meet what I'm saying, and that's okay. But if you can cut those up, that's even better. But nonetheless, what I want you to see here is the compounding momentum. But also, if you keep those credit cards open and keep a minimum balance, like pay it all off to about $5, so it shows that you have a recurring balance. Okay. And like I mentioned in another video, keep 2 cards, use 1 for groceries, use 1 for gas. And make sure you pay them off every single month, because it's revolving. It's a revolving credit, right? And so you owe $5, but you have the ability to go up to $5,000. Your credit score is going to skyrocket from there. And you're going to be, if you were in the 4s and 5s, you're quickly going to be in the 6s, 7s, and 8s. I promise you that. So follow this simple guideline of listing your debts and paying them off from least amount to greatest amount, and then paying that additional amount. And then I promise you, you are going to be making so much momentum. It's going to scare you. It's going to feel so good. You're going to have a confidence you never even thought you had. And then we're even closer to becoming a homeowner and living a life worth living. All right, that's it for this video. I'll see you in the next one. Again, it's Kevin Wells, your bald-headed agent here in Greenville, South Carolina. If you are thinking about buying or selling a home, or have questions about property, give me a call at any time. Take care and speak with you soon. Bye.